Hey guys, William here, and you're about to get a full review of the Fitbit Surge. Okay, let's do it. Our full review of the Fitbit Surge. Now, before I get into anything, let's go ahead and talk about pricing. This watch here costs about $250 retail US. I have not seen any prices lower than that. That's how much I paid in January of 2015. It was released early to some in December 2014 with the same pricing model. Now, when it comes to design, this watch is well made, and I mean really well made. I'm a heavy user. I've been using it constantly for about the last 4 months now, and the only defect that I can see, the only mark, the only scratch, is a small nick right there. I'm not really all that careful with the watch. I bang it in the tables all the time. I hit walls with it. When I'm working out, it hits the equipment a lot. So the screen has no scratches on it at all. The screen on the back with the LEDs has no scratches at all. It does have some dirt. I probably should have cleaned it. But the screen on the back has no scratches at all. It's held up really well. As you can see, the watch is not of a flat design. It's more of a curved design. That means it's going to sit unevenly on your wrist, which is going to be an issue when you first get the watch, but once you get past this, it's not that big of a deal. The watch itself is pretty bulky, so if you like to wear long sleeve shirts, it's going to cause an issue. It's going to be very difficult to hike the shirt over the watch, or you may have to even attach the watch over the shirt, but that pretty much eliminates the use of the heart rate tracking. Now, the watch itself comes in different sizes. This is the large model. It also comes in a small model to accommodate people of different wrist size. It also comes in 3 color options. This is the black one, of course. There's also an orangish color and a purplish color. This one looked the best to me. Now, as a quick side note, I want to add that Fitbits in the past have been pretty notorious for causing pretty severe allergic reactions in people. Now, it varied very widely, and it only affected a small number of people due to the medical grade nickel plating on the back of their previous wearable called the Force. That has been fixed in this newest iteration of wearable, but I do want to make a quick note that Fitbit highly recommends you take this watch off at least once per day for an hour and allow your skin to air out. I would also highly recommend that. This watch is highly addictive and you don't want to take it off, but if you leave it on too long, you are going to cause some serious skin irritation. It will cause skin to dry and flake off. So I do highly recommend that you take this off for at least 1 hour a day and clean it thoroughly with either rubbing alcohol or some other electronic cleaner. So let's go ahead and finish up the design of the watch here. As you see, we have our black and white touchscreen face. The screen itself is very, very responsive. Not often do I find myself having to re-swipe to get to the page that I want to go to. On the left-hand side here, we have a button that can be considered somewhat of a home button that usually allows you to go back to the clock face from whatever menu you're in. This button here is for notifications. If you see that icon right up there at the top, that means that there is a text message there. And by pressing that button, it'll allow me to see my text messages and scroll through them. This button here is almost exclusively used for navigation through the menus. So for some reason, if you don't want to use the touchscreen, you can always use this button here to navigate through the different menus. On the back here, we have our charging port, which is supposedly waterproof or at least water resistant. And we also have the LED panel with the 2 lights that is for the continuous heart rate tracking. Fitbit will include a cable that plugs into this. The cable itself is, well, I find myself always having to very gently set the watch down. The cable will come out very, very easily, so it's a little annoying, but not too big of an issue to deal with. Now let's go ahead and look at the watch itself. As you see, we have our clock face here. Now you can always go in and change this in the Fitbit app. There are several different preset clock faces. This was the one that I like the best. You can see your step count for the day. You can see your heart rate tracking. It does continuous all-day heart rate tracking. You can disable that and it will save you a little battery life, but it uses these 2 LEDs to monitor the amount of blood flow underneath your skin, and it uses that to gauge your heart rate. Currently, it is rather accurate. I have gauged this against more accurate heart rate technology that I've come across in the doctor's office also, as well as gym equipment that have built-in heart rate monitors. It's always within maybe 5 beats, either above or below. It's usually pretty accurate for what this is. It also has a miles traveled. Now that's not using GPS. This is just using your step count plus the information about your body type that you've added in. It can calculate about how many miles you've traveled, calories burned for the day, as well as floors climbed. The interface is very, very simple, and almost too simple actually. Once you click this button over here, it brings you to your settings menu. Now when you're in settings, you have several different things you can select. There is Bluetooth Classic, which is for audio playback on your mobile device. You can pair this with an iPhone or Android device, and it will allow you to pause, play, fast forward, and rewind your music. But other than that, it's very limited. We have our notifications, so you can turn your text message and incoming call notifications on or off. Texts are cool. Once you see that you have a text up there, you hit that side button. It allows you to swipe through all your texts. Incoming calls are nice. You can't accept the call. You can only see that you have a call. There's the backlight settings. I find that the automatic backlight leaves a little bit to be desired, so I typically just leave the backlight on. Shut down, which you don't use very often, regulatory information, and your version number. Heart rate tracking, you can have it on, off, or automatic. It will automatically turn on once it detects that you're in some sort of active mode or active period, usually when you start a workout. Now let's go ahead and get out of the settings menu and check out our run menu. We click on run and it allows us to select from free run, treadmill run, or lap run. Once you find the run that you want to get, you hit that arrow there, and it's going to start searching for GPS. Now if you're outside, the GPS is going to connect pretty quickly. I found that I never had to wait more than a minute. If you're inside, it's going to take quite a bit longer. If you don't feel like letting it wait, you can do a quick start and go on your run, and then once the GPS does make a good connection, it will start tracking once the connection is made. Let's go ahead and get out of that. You can also, instead of doing run, there are different exercises that it will also track. There is a hike, weightlifting, elliptical, and just a plain workout. Now that's very limited. I'm hoping that Fitbit in the future adds a lot more. I would like to see an actual biking because I do ride my bike a lot. I don't know why they wouldn't include that. That was a bit of a drawback. I was almost sure that they would include some sort of biking under the exercise tab, but there's nothing there for bikes, so you can do elliptical, which is about the closest that you're going to get. Also, the watch has alarm features. Now, the silent alarm on this, which is vibrating, is very, very weak, so if you're planning on using this to get you up in the morning, I wouldn't count on it. And that's pretty much it for the interface of the device. It's very simple and very easy to use. Again, almost too simple. I wish they would add in more features. Now, when this device first came out, Fitbit said that it was going to get about 7 days of battery life, and that's very impressive, especially for a device that gets continuous heart rate tracking as well as a integrated GPS chip. That's right, you don't have to bring your phone with you when you go on a run. The GPS chip is built right into the watch, which is probably what contributes to some of the thickening of the watch itself. Now, when they first came out with that, I was a bit shocked. Later on, they updated the website and changed it down to about 5 days of battery life, which is still really good. Now, you might be asking, okay, that's what the website says. What about in reality? Well, in reality, the device itself typically gets about 3.5 to 4 days of usage from me, and honestly I'm not really a light user. I hardly ever use the GPS because when I do run, it's on a treadmill, and I only probably access it a few times a day. So honestly, I think you're gonna probably get about 4 days of good usage out of this. Make sure when you get it out of the box you charge it fully. So whenever you hop in the shower, just go ahead and throw it on the charger and you should be fine. Now, speaking of showers, this is water resistant. They do not recommend that you take showers with the watch on, but I have done that in the past. I've washed my car with the watch on and it has been submerged in water probably around 4 to 5 inches. I wouldn't take it any further than that. Obviously, you can tell the watch is working perfectly fine. There's no damage, but any more than a depth of that and you're probably going to get some minute water leaks in the device and you're going to get something's going to short out. Okay, so I did want to go ahead and take a second to actually get into the Fitbit app. As you can see, I'm using this with an iPhone 6. Click on the Fitbit app, and this is the menu you're going to be presented with. It'll have your device at the top, and right now there's an update available, so it's showing a little bit differently than normal, but you'll have your battery, a small icon, and then if you click on it, it will actually give you the real readout. Your steps for the day, your current heart rate, miles, calories burned, active minutes, track exercise. You can also add in your weight if you use the Fitbit scale, their Wi-Fi ARIA scale. It'll also give you your sleep tracking and floors traveled. You can also go into the settings and adjust how this is going to look. It will look different. You can have the calories out, you can have the heart rate out, depends on what you want to see. You can track it weekly, monthly. You can look at your heart rate there, and you can actually see where your heart rate was at for the day, which is really neat and very convenient. You can see where your resting heart rate is at, tell if you're about to have a heart attack or not. So let's go ahead and look at the settings for the Fitbit Surge. Here are the different clock face settings that you can choose from. Again, I think the digital is the best looking one. You can turn off your call and text notifications. You can change your heart rate settings. You can change your goal settings. Which wrist are you wearing it on, your dominant or your non-dominant? And you can also create more exercise shortcuts here, as well as music controls. And you can select, and this is the important part, either doing an all-day sync or not. All-day sync means that every time you open up your Fitbit app and you're within proximity of your watch, they are going to sync. Any of you familiar with the Fitbit app knows that you can also link this up with your Facebook account. You can add friends, and you can do weekly challenges to see who gets more steps. Alright guys, this is my final recommendation on the Fitbit Surge. I think everyone should go out and get one of these, and if not one of these, go get the Charge or the Charge HR. Just being able to get your hands on this kind of information, your steps, your heart rate, the distance traveled, and then even going further and getting the ARIA scale to track your weight. I think it's invaluable information, especially for anyone who's trying to be a little more health conscious. And all in all, it's kind of a cool watch. It's not a true smartwatch wearable, but it's somewhere in the middle between a fitness tracker and a smartwatch, and I think it's got a really good mix of both worlds, and I think you get a lot of bang for your buck. Honestly, for $250, it's honestly not that bad. So this has been William. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Fitbit Surge. If you have any suggestions for other videos, please like, comment, share, let me know down below what you would like to see. Thanks again.